Hey, I'm going to be demonstrating the Ultra.io Smart Contract Toolkit, which is a VS Code extension, which is going to help you with building your smart contracts. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at what's inside of this thing. So one of the first things that we're going to do is install the extension. And now that's installed, what we're going to do is create a smart contract. So in this empty folder, I have nothing here. I don't know how to write a smart contract. I don't know what to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the command palette, Control-Shift-P. I'm going to type create smart contract. What this is going to do, it's going to prompt me for a workspace folder to use. I'm going to use source. And once it has created the source folder, it'll create the hello world contract inside of it. And then what it's going to do is ask, hey, do you want to add these header files? We're going to go ahead and hit yes to that. And then on top of that, we're going to also add the C++ support for the contract as well. So if I hit yes, it will go ahead and install that. And then it's going to restart the window. And what we're going to see is that these files here may take a few moments to propagate, but it looks like we had it pretty quickly here. So now we're able to actually have full auto-completion with all the header files that are necessary. And on top of that, we can use all the different things that are inside of here as well. As long as IntelliSense actually properly updates. But as you can see, IntelliSense is updating, so it may take a little bit for some of these things to come through. So you can always look at the bottom down here to see if IntelliSense is updating and what you're currently waiting for. Now that that's being said though, let's go ahead and build our smart contract. So we have this perfectly good smart contract right here. I'm just going to build it. So I'll show you how to do that. So I can just go down here and I can hit compile. What it's going to do is it's going to build the smart contract directly where it is, or the C++ file and any additional header files are. And now that is completed, we have our WebAssembly file and we also have our ABI file. Now, normally you need to use Kleos to deploy a smart contract, but with this wonderful VS Code extension, what we can do is actually just deploy right here. What it's going to do is, well, we need a wallet in the first place. So we have all these wallet functions available. If you hit Control-Shift-P, you'll see everything inside of here. Everything's encrypted with an algorithm, like a cipher, and it's stored in the VS Code state inside of its SQL library database. That being said, what we can do is add a key. So for instance, I have a key already added for the Jungle testnet. I can actually go through here and enter my password. And I have one of these keys which works for the Jungle testnet. And now what I can do is I can go ahead and deploy that smart contract. So if I go up here and I go to deploy contract, it's going to prompt me, hey, which compiled smart contract do you want to deploy? And I can go ahead and select that out of the system here. And what that's going to do is if I go over and select a different endpoint, I can even select my own local network if I'm running one. But instead, I'm going to go to the Jungle testnet. And I'm going to go ahead and enter my wallet password. I'm going to deploy it to this account, which is called Ultra Testing. And what we're going to see is I've already deployed this contract, so it's going to complain about it. It's like, hey, you've already deployed it, but we did actually successfully deploy the contract. Now, that being said, let's say if I want to call this action specifically. What do I do? Well, we have this ability to run a query against the blockchain, but we also have the ability to directly just transact. So if you hit Control-Shift-P and type transaction or transact, you'll see create transaction. Now, what I can do is I can select the last used endpoint. I can type my wallet password here, and I'm going to use the contract name, which is Ultra Testing. And it's going to list all the actions that are available. In this case, I have hi available. I'm gonna go ahead and run that, and I'm gonna use Ultra Testing as my signer. That being said, it's gonna open a form here. I can go ahead and fill that out. Ultra Testing, submit, run my password again. Boom, there we go. Everything in here is, it has fully contracted, and you can actually see console, hi there, with the user, with the raw value of the name there. And then we have some other things that are in here as well. So like, let's say if I wanted to create a transaction for EOS.io token. So let's go EOS.io token, transfer. Like, as you can see, there's all these different actions in here. I can just do transfer, Ultra Testing, and then it's going to give me the full form of all the actions that are currently available for that smart contract. So I can do ultra testing, and I'm going to just send it to ESIO. Let's do 0, 1 EOS, and we'll just do test, submit, and one more time for the wallet. And if we scroll down here to the bottom, we will see that this transaction has successfully sent. Now, what else can we do with this? We can query different tables. So for example, if I wanted to query let's say the global table for EOSIO. So we'll go EOSIO, scope EOSIO, and then let's say we do the global table. And we can keep the lower bound empty if we want to just ignore that. As you can see, we have the table rows here. Very easy to just look up information through this thing. And we could also do just other things like block numbers and all sorts of things as well. So like if I was going to use the ultra mainnet, and I went to block, hit 5. There we go. There's block 5. Very responsive, very fast. I don't know if there's anything else to really say about this thing. There's just it's kind of just enabling some very easy to use a very easy to use extension, but also you only need Docker installed to get all of this working, so you don't need anything additional other than Docker, and that's simply for just compiling the smart contracts. So I hope you guys find this actually to be very useful to you, because I think this kind of highlights some of the larger pain points with developing smart contracts with EOS-based systems. Nobody wants to install Linux. Nobody wants to install a bunch of dependencies. Nobody wants a specific development environment just to write a smart contract. So this opens up for a much better experience for cross-environment compiling, writing smart contracts, and so on and so forth. So enjoy. It's available on the marketplace. Again, you can just go to the extensions and you can type in ultra.io, and you will see the smart contract toolkit. So enjoy.